The truth is, many of you think you've crossed the threshold into manhood simply because you can vote or because you've hit that magical age. But let's be real, age is just a number. We see 40-year-old boys and 18-year-old men walking among us. What really sets a boy apart from a man? It's not about milestones, it's about mindset, responsibility, and growth. If you haven't grasped these 5 critical insights I'm about to share, then it's time to reflect, because you might still be stuck in boyhood. Number 1. Responsibility. Responsibility is the cornerstone of manhood, a lesson that is often learned through experience, trial, and reflection. In my early years, I was carefree and thoughtless, often making promises I didn't keep. I remember a time when I assured a close friend I would be there for his birthday party. As the day approached, distractions pulled me away, and I allowed my desires to take precedence over my commitments. I thought my absence wouldn't matter much, but when I saw the disappointment etched on his face, I was struck by a profound realization. I had let him down, and it hurt to see the impact of my actions on someone I cared about. That moment marked the beginning of my understanding of responsibility. From that day forward, I made a conscious effort to embrace responsibility in all areas of my life. It wasn't just about fulfilling obligations, it was about being someone others could rely on. I started to show up, not just for the significant events, but for the little things too. I became the friend who would lend an ear when someone needed to talk, the one who would help out when asked, and the one who would follow through on promises. With each commitment I honored, I felt a profound sense of pride. It was empowering to know that I could be counted on. This newfound sense of responsibility transformed my relationships. People began to trust me more, and I found myself building a solid network of support around me. I learned that taking responsibility is a cornerstone of trust. By being reliable, I fostered an environment where others felt safe and valued. A quote from Marcus Aurelius resonates deeply with this idea. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This reminds me that while I cannot control how others react, I can control my actions and decisions. It is this conscious choice to act responsibly that defines my character. As I continued to embrace responsibility, I noticed a shift in how I perceived myself. I was no longer just a carefree boy. I was becoming a man who understood the importance of his actions. I recognized that being responsible meant making choices that aligned with my values and commitments. It was about being accountable, not just to others, but to myself. I began to hold myself to a higher standard, and in doing so, I found a sense of purpose that guided my daily actions. This commitment to responsibility extended beyond my social life. In my professional endeavors, I became the person who met deadlines, tackled challenges head-on, and took initiative. I understood that a responsible person is proactive rather than reactive, someone who anticipates needs and acts accordingly. This mindset not only helped me succeed in my career, but also earned me the respect of colleagues and superiors alike. I also learned that responsibility isn't always easy. There were moments when it felt overwhelming, like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. But I quickly discovered that with great responsibility comes great reward. The sense of accomplishment that comes from fulfilling commitments and being a dependable person is unparalleled. I found joy in being the one my friends could lean on, the one who provided stability in chaotic situations. Reflecting on my journey, I remember a time when I volunteered to lead a community project. The commitment was significant, and I felt the weight of responsibility heavily upon me. However, as I organized the event and rallied others to join, I found fulfillment in being able to contribute positively to my community. The project not only succeeded, but also brought people together, reinforcing my belief in the power of shared responsibility. Responsibility is not merely about fulfilling obligations, it is about understanding the impact of our choices on others and being willing to act with integrity. It is a lesson that continues to guide me, reminding me that my actions have consequences and that I have the power to create positive change in my life and the lives of others. Through embracing responsibility, I have grown as an individual and inspired those around me to take charge of their own lives, creating a ripple effect of accountability and trust. As I reflect on the broader implications of responsibility, I realize that it also encompasses the ability to own my mistakes and learn from them. There were times when I faltered, when I let my ego get in the way of admitting I was wrong. But with each misstep, I learned the value of humility and the importance of acknowledging my shortcomings. This willingness to learn and grow has become an integral part of my character. In essence, the journey toward embracing responsibility is ongoing. It requires constant reflection, a commitment to personal growth, and a dedication to being the best version of myself. Through this journey, I have come to understand that true manhood is defined not only by the commitments we make, but by the integrity with which we honor those commitments. Number 2, emotional maturity. Emotional maturity is another vital lesson in the journey from boyhood to manhood. It is the ability to understand, manage, and express one's emotions in a healthy way, while also being attuned to the feelings of others. Growing up, I often found myself reacting impulsively, letting my emotions dictate my actions. I recall countless moments where my temper flared, leading to regrettable words that I couldn't take back. Arguments with friends and misunderstandings spiraled out of control simply because I lacked the skills to manage my feelings. One memory stands out vividly. I had a heated disagreement with a close friend over something trivial. In the heat of the moment, I let my anger take over, saying things that hurt him deeply. The aftermath was painful. It took weeks for us to mend that friendship. I felt ashamed and realized I needed to grow and learn how to navigate my emotions more effectively. This realization marked the beginning of my journey toward emotional maturity. I started to understand that true strength lies not in suppressing my feelings, but in acknowledging and processing them. I began to explore mindfulness techniques, learning to take a step back when emotions ran high. Instead of lashing out, I practiced pausing and reflecting before reacting. The teachings of Epictetus resonated with me during this time. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This quote became a guiding principle, reminding me that while I cannot control external events, I can control my responses to them. This shift in mindset was transformative. I found myself becoming more empathetic, able to see situations from others' perspectives. I learned to communicate my feelings openly and honestly, rather than allowing misunderstandings to fester. One poignant moment that stands out was when a close friend confided in me about her struggles. Instead of offering quick solutions, I simply listened. I created a safe space for her to express herself, and in that moment, I realized the power of being present and supportive. Emotional maturity deepened my connections with others in ways I never anticipated. I learned that vulnerability is not a weakness, it's a strength that can enhance relationships. By allowing myself to be open and honest about my feelings, I invited others to do the same. This fostered an environment of trust and understanding, where we could support one another through life's ups and downs. I also discovered that emotional maturity involves recognizing when to seek help. There were times when I felt overwhelmed by my emotions, and instead of trying to handle everything on my own, I reached out to trusted friends or mentors. This willingness to seek support has been invaluable in my journey toward emotional maturity. It taught me that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Now, when faced with challenges, I approach them with a calm demeanor, knowing that navigating emotions thoughtfully can lead to more constructive outcomes. I've learned to embrace discomfort, understanding that growth often comes from facing difficult emotions head-on. This journey toward emotional maturity has transformed my interactions, helping me build deeper connections and navigate the complexities of life with grace. I remember a particularly challenging time when I faced significant stress from work and personal issues. Instead of bottling up my emotions, I sought the guidance of a mentor who had navigated similar challenges. Through our conversations, I learned the importance of expressing my feelings and the value of vulnerability. I also recognized that emotional maturity does not mean being devoid of emotions. Rather, it means understanding and channeling them effectively. I have come to appreciate the role of emotions in our lives. They are signals that provide valuable information about our experiences. The key lies in how we choose to respond to those signals. Moreover, I began to integrate Stoic practices into my daily life to enhance my emotional maturity. I started journaling my thoughts and feelings, reflecting on the events of the day and how I responded to them. This practice allowed me to gain clarity, identify patterns in my emotional responses, and develop strategies for managing my reactions. One of the most impactful practices was the premeditation of evils, a Stoic exercise that involves envisioning potential challenges and setbacks before they occur. By mentally preparing for difficulties, I found that I could approach situations with a greater sense of calm and resilience. This practice not only helped me manage my emotions, but also enabled me to respond to challenges with a level-headedness that I had previously struggled to achieve. Emotional maturity is an ongoing process, and I remain committed to refining my understanding of emotions and their role in my life. Each interaction, challenge, and triumph offers an opportunity to grow. I strive to remain open to feedback and willing to adapt my understanding of emotions, both my own and those of others. The more I learn about emotional maturity, the more I realize its impact on my relationships and overall well-being. Number 3. Independence. Independence is a vital aspect of the journey from boyhood to manhood. I can vividly recall a time when I relied heavily on others for support and validation. It felt comfortable, but deep down, I knew that true independence meant standing on my own 2 feet and making decisions that aligned with my values. The first time I truly embraced independence was when I took a leap of faith to pursue a passion project. It was daunting, filled with uncertainty, but I knew I had to try. I remember the mix of excitement and fear as I ventured into uncharted territory. That experience opened my eyes to the power of independence. I discovered that it's not just about being self-sufficient. It's about embracing my uniqueness and trusting my instincts. As I delved into my interests, whether it was taking courses, exploring new hobbies, or engaging in projects that excited me, I began to realize that independence is a journey of self-discovery. Each step I took reinforced my confidence and helped me understand that I didn't need to rely on anyone else to define my worth. Epictetus reminds us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote emphasizes the importance of taking control of my life and making choices that align with my true self. Independence means being proactive, shaping my own path and responding to challenges with resilience. One of the most liberating aspects of independence is the freedom to explore who I am without external pressures. I ventured into solo travels, immersing myself in new cultures and experiences. Each trip was a lesson in self-reliance, challenging me to navigate unfamiliar environments and make decisions on my own. I learned to trust my judgment and embrace spontaneity, and with each adventure, I uncovered different facets of my personality. I remember a particularly enlightening trip to a foreign country where I didn't speak the language. The initial anxiety was overwhelming, but it forced me to step outside my comfort zone. I learned to communicate through gestures, smiles, and a willingness to engage with locals. This experience taught me that independence is not just about self-sufficiency, it's about adaptability and courage to face the unknown. Independence also taught me resilience. Facing challenges alone empowered me to handle adversity with determination. I recall a particular experience when I faced a setback in my career. Instead of crumbling under pressure, I took it as an opportunity to learn and grow. I sought feedback, adjusted my approach, and emerged stronger than before. This realization opened doors to new opportunities and experiences, reinforcing my belief in the power of self-reliance. As I continued to embrace independence, I found that it didn't mean isolating myself. In fact, it created space for authentic connections. As I became more comfortable in my own skin, I attracted like-minded individuals who appreciated me for who I was. Independence allowed me to cultivate relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. I discovered that being independent doesn't mean shutting others out. It means surrounding myself with people who support my journey and inspire me to be better. I learned to appreciate the value of collaboration while also recognizing the importance of maintaining my individuality. This balance has become a guiding principle in my life, empowering me to pursue my passions while nurturing meaningful connections. Independence also means taking ownership of my decisions and their consequences. There were times when I faced challenges that tested my resolve. I learned to trust my instincts and make decisions based on my values, rather than succumbing to external pressures or seeking validation from others. This newfound confidence in my ability to navigate life on my terms has been liberating. I also began to reflect on the importance of self-discipline as a component of independence. I learned that true independence requires the ability to set goals, create plans, and follow through with commitment. Whether it was pursuing a fitness goal, advancing my education, or developing new skills, I understood that independence is not just about freedom. It's about the discipline to act in alignment with my aspirations. Through this journey, I have come to embrace the idea that independence is a continuous evolution. It requires constant reflection, adaptability, and a willingness to learn from experiences. Each day presents an opportunity to practice independence, to make choices that reflect my true self, and to cultivate a life that aligns with my values. Number 4. Respect for others. Respect for others is an essential value that has shaped my interactions and relationships throughout my life. Growing up, I sometimes took people for granted, failing to recognize the richness of their experiences. However, as I navigated through different social environments, I learned that respect goes beyond mere politeness. It involves acknowledging the inherent worth of every individual. I vividly recall a moment when I encountered someone from a vastly different background. Initially, I felt unsure and disconnected. However, as we engaged in conversation, I discovered a wealth of knowledge and perspective I had never considered. This encounter opened my eyes to the beauty of diversity and the importance of treating everyone with kindness. I made a conscious effort to listen and appreciate different viewpoints, realizing that everyone has a unique story to tell. Respect became a guiding principle in my relationships, allowing me to foster deeper connections. I learned that when you treat others with respect, you create an environment where they feel valued and empowered to express themselves. A quote from Marcus Aurelius resonates deeply here. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. This reminds me that respect is not about how others treat me, but about how I choose to respond and treat them, irrespective of their behavior. This shift transformed my friendships as I built a network based on mutual respect and understanding. I came to understand that respect is the foundation of trust, and with trust, relationships flourish. I now approach every interaction with an open heart, eager to learn from others and appreciate the richness they bring to my life. Over time, I also learned that respect involves setting boundaries. It's not just about being kind and considerate, it's also about standing up for myself and others. I realized that respecting myself means knowing my worth and not allowing others to undermine it. This understanding has empowered me to advocate for myself and those around me, fostering an environment of mutual respect in all my relationships. One particularly notable experience was when I witnessed a colleague being disrespected in a meeting. Instead of remaining silent, I chose to speak up, reminding the group of the importance of valuing every opinion, regardless of rank or experience. It was a small act, but it reinforced my belief that respect is not just a passive state. It is an active choice we make in our interactions with others. I began to reflect on the importance of empathy as a vital component of respect. I learned that empathy allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to understand their struggles and to appreciate their perspectives. This understanding has shaped my relationships and influenced how I approach conflicts. Rather than reacting defensively, I strive to listen and seek understanding, allowing for more constructive dialogue. Respect also extends to embracing diversity and inclusivity. I've come to understand that everyone has unique experiences, and by valuing those differences, we create a richer tapestry of relationships. I actively seek to learn from others, recognizing that each encounter offers an opportunity to broaden my understanding of the world. Number 5. A growth mindset. Finally, let's delve into the concept of a growth mindset, a transformative aspect of my journey. Life is filled with challenges, and I once viewed them as obstacles to be avoided. However, I learned that every challenge presents an opportunity for growth. I remember a particularly difficult project at work that pushed me to my limits. Initially, I felt overwhelmed, but instead of shying away, I decided to embrace it. I sought feedback, welcomed constructive criticism, and worked tirelessly to overcome obstacles. This experience shifted my perspective on challenges. Instead of fearing failure, I began to see it as a stepping stone toward success. Each setback became a lesson, and I found joy in the process of learning. A quote from Seneca reminds us, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." This encapsulates the essence of a growth mindset, preparing ourselves through learning and hard work so that when opportunities arise, we are ready to seize them. I started seeking out new experiences, whether it was taking up a new hobby or tackling unfamiliar tasks. This willingness to step outside my comfort zone led to personal growth and self-discovery. I realized that growth is a continuous journey, and every day presents an opportunity to learn something new. This mindset has not only enriched my life, but has also empowered me to inspire others to embrace their own journeys. I've learned that the path from boyhood to manhood is not just about age. It's about the commitment to personal growth, responsibility, emotional maturity, independence, respect for others, and maintaining a growth mindset. As I continue to navigate this journey, I carry these lessons with me, striving to become the best version of myself while fostering meaningful connections with those around me. Each day is a chance to learn, grow, and become a better man than I was yesterday. Reading the works of Stoic philosophers has provided me with a wealth of knowledge and insight into living a fulfilling life. They emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. This perspective has been invaluable in helping me maintain a growth mindset. I also reflect on the importance of continuous learning. I've started to read more books and engage in discussions that challenge my perspectives. Every new piece of knowledge adds to my understanding, allowing me to view the world through a broader lens. This dedication to learning is what fuels my growth mindset, reminding me that there is always room for improvement. The journey from boyhood to manhood is filled with lessons that shape who we become. Responsibility, emotional maturity, independence, respect for others, and a growth mindset are not just lessons to be learned, they are principles to be lived by. Each day presents an opportunity to practice these principles, to reflect on our actions, and to strive for personal growth. As I continue on this journey, I remain committed to being the best version of myself, not just for me, but for those around me. Through embracing these Stoic principles, I have learned to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. I have come to appreciate the beauty of human connection and the importance of lifting others as I rise. The journey is ongoing, and I look forward to the lessons yet to come, knowing that each experience will contribute to my growth as a man. If you found value in this discussion and want to continue your journey toward true manhood, don't forget to hit that like button. Share this with your friends to spark conversations about what it really means to be a man. And for more insights and wisdom, subscribe to Stoic Lord, join our community, and stay updated on all our latest content. Your journey starts here.